Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Testing, 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 testing.
Welcome. Hello. My name is Monica Moskal. I'm the director of the program on the environment, and I like to welcome you to the program on the environment 2025 graduation. We'll start the ceremony here with a land acknowledgement. So the University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish people of the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands in the Squamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. Okay. I'm going to do a short address. So again, welcome to the graduates, the honored guests, families, friends, faculty, to our graduation. It is with immense pride and joy I stand before you today as the director of the program on the environment, which I'll start calling POE. Today, we celebrate not only your accomplishments as students, but also the bright futures you're poised to create as leaders in the field of environmental studies. Each of you embarked on a journey fueled by passion for understanding and protecting our increasingly interconnected world. Over the course of your studies, you have engaged deeply with complex environmental challenges, exploring solutions through interdisciplinary approaches and lenses. You have embraced the mission of our program to bring together learning and community engagement in an effort to advocate for an ever-changing but equitably sustainable future. Your journey have not been without challenges. The issues we face, like climate change, resource depletion, ecological degradation, and associated environmental justice issues, are vast and urgent. Yet, it is precisely these challenges that make your work so critical. You have shown resilience, creativity, and commitment to seek out new opportunities and solutions in the fight for our planet's future. As you transition from students to professionals, remember that the power to effect change lies within each of you. Remember too that collaboration and community are key. In POE, you have built a network of peers and mentors. Carry these connections with you as you forge your new paths. Today, as you step into the world, I urge you to hold on to the curiosity and the determination that you brought here. Use your voices to advocate for those who cannot, challenge the status quo, and inspire change in all corners of the globe. The world needs your talents, your vision, and your courage. So with that, I would like to welcome the Dean of the College of the Environment, Maya Tolstoy.
Thank you, Monica, and thank you all for being here. I want to take a moment also to really acknowledge the family members, the friends who have supported our graduates. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all you have done for your students here graduating today. I know they couldn't have made it without you, so thank you. And now, hello to all of you, our class of 2025. It is my distinct honor to be among the first to congratulate you on your graduation from the University of Washington. This is a momentous accomplishment, and I have been truly, it's been an honor to be part of the College of the Environment community alongside graduates as brilliant, inquisitive, and forward-thinking as yourselves. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this special occasion. We're here today to celebrate the next step in your lives and the next step in your journey as environmental scientists, thinkers, and citizens of the world. But I also know that these are challenging and uncertain times for everyone in our community, and I think it would be remiss to begin our celebration without first acknowledging the upheaval we are all experiencing in the academy. Your generation has already faced more challenges than most, and the burdens that have been placed on you are significant. I also know that this step you're embarking on can be daunting at the best of times. Whatever path you're planning to pursue, whether it's further exploration of your academic discipline or making the first moves of your professional career, this will be a time of great change in your life. But I want to tell you that as I stand here today, I am truly in awe of every single one of you. I have had the privilege of witnessing you in the incredible work that you do every day, and I am certain that you will continue to navigate this time of change with the same thoughtful determination that has defined your time here. When you have been faced with challenges, you have risen to meet them. You have turned them into opportunities. And to learn and to grow and to demonstrate bravery, kindness, and perseverance in your work, and be members of this community. These are all qualities that I am certain will serve you well for the rest of your lives, because as you all know, we're at a critical junction in the history of our life on our planet, and tackling the environmental crisis we face will ask even more of you in the decades to come. That said, I am often torn when people say that your generation represents the greatest hope to finally address this crisis. On one level, this feels obviously true to me. I am endlessly impressed by the passion, energy, and nuanced thinking that you and many in your generation bring not only to the movement for a livable planet, but to the movement for justice and equity as well. But I also feel that it is unfair to shoulder you with so much responsibility after all you've already been through. It feels unfair to throw up our hands and imply that the rest of us have tried and failed, and that these are somehow your problems and your problems alone. I want you to know that you are not alone. You are part of this community, and whether your path leads you to further study our planet and its ecosystems, to craft policies that will build a sustainable world, or to develop novel solutions that will save people's lives, we will always have your back. Every single one of us is in this together. Now, I know there are several more people here waiting patiently for their own opportunities to tell you how wonderful you are. And so I will close with some lessons I hope that you will remember from your time here at UW. First of all, remember to stay curious and embrace new experiences, even when it feels easier to stick with what you already know. Comfort zones are not set in stone. Remember that failure is not just impermanent, but is in fact an essential component of success, and that perseverance is a virtue. Remember that the only constant in life is change, and that even when things feel grim, it is always prudent to hope. And remember that you have what it takes to achieve anything you set your mind to. You are strong, you are valued, and you are part of a community that wants nothing but the best for you. I look forward to hearing about each and every one of your adventures in the years to come. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you so much, Dean. It is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker today, Stephanie Thomas. She's the co-president and co-owner of Cascadia Consulting Group, where she leads with a rare blend of strategic vision, deep community engagement expertise, and an unwavering belief in the power of behavioral change to advance sustainability. With more than 17 years of experience, Stephanie has designated, launched, and evaluated dozens of outreach programs that help businesses and communities across the West Coast reduce waste, conserve water and energy, improve mobility, prevent pollution, and take action on climate. She brings in a holistic approach to program design, drawing on tools from community-based social marketing, environmental communications, and participatory planning, and has led teams that reach thousands of stakeholders every year. Stephanie is also a passionate mentor and a talented developer, which may help explain why so many POE alum call Cascadia home. In fact, Cascadia has supported nearly a dozen of POE capstone projects over the years, offering students real-world experience in environmental outreach, equity-centered planning, and climate communications. Stephanie holds a BA with honors in environmental studies from POE, also a BA in environmental science and resource management, all at the College of the Environment here at the University of Washington. She served on the board of directors for Pacific Northwest Social Marketing Associations since 2018. When she's not motivating others to take action for the planet, you'll find Stephanie biking Seattle many neighborhoods and traveling in search of sunshine. Welcome, Stephanie, to the podium.
Thank you so much for that introduction. And wow, congratulations, class of 2025. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. I have to say, it is just an absolute honor to be here with you graduates and your families and friends. I am so excited to be part of this major life milestone with you. And I just want to start by saying thank you for investing in an environmental education and career pathway. We need each and every one of you in this fight. So please give yourselves another round of applause. Yes. And my sincere thanks to the POE team for the opportunity to be here today. I clearly didn't get the memo on dress here, but I did rep purple, so I'm excited about that. Thank you, thank you. I must say it's pretty hard to believe that I was here at the UW getting my degree in POE a mere 18 years ago. I'm gonna jump in. Yeah. Look at that real-time support. Oh, there we go. Nice. Keep me posted if weird things are happening over there. I feel like that's for me. That message is for me. Like, welcome home to where I started. I love that. If anyone cares about putting something else up, you let me know, but I'll carry on in the interest of time. I just want to say that beyond being here today and repping purple and celebrating you all, I thought I would start with just a little bit about how I became a POE grad. So I'm the youngest, I'm gonna go way back. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. I was raised by a single mom in South Florida. Neither of my parents had a college degree and we didn't have much money growing up. So it was the expectation that if you wanted to go to college, you kind of had to figure out how to pay for it on your own. I was lucky that I started taking high school classes in middle school. I started taking college courses in high school and was able to graduate high school a year early with a year of college done. And then I squandered my head start, took some community college classes here and there, moved around a little bit, and then landed in Seattle. I took my first community college class on environmental studies at Seattle Central Community College, and I was hooked. And then I was accepted to the UW and the program on the environment. And I felt so sure that a career in the environmental field was exactly what I wanted to do. But until my POE internship, I had no idea what that would look like. My POE internship was with the King County Solid Waste Division. And early on in my time there, I kept coming across the name of Cascadia Consulting Group. And I didn't know it at the time, but King County was one of Cascadia's biggest clients. So I kept seeing that some of the projects and initiatives I was most interested in were things that Cascadia did. And I was surprised to learn that local government works so closely with environmental consultants to implement a range of projects and initiatives. And I even unknowingly called Cascadia during my internship when I thought I was calling the city's green business program. So I kind of felt like, okay, this is where I want to be. This is the kind of stuff I want to do. And I started looking for jobs there. And then I was super lucky to get a great referral and recommendation from my POE capstone manager and applied for a job a few months after graduation and was hired at an entry-level position. Okay, actually, I applied while I was still in school, and then I didn't get the job at first. After 3 rounds of interviews, they went with the other candidate. And it wasn't until months after I started working somewhere else that Cascadia called me back and said, if you're still interested, we have a job for you. So don't get discouraged when you don't get a call back, or even if you get rejected, keep at it. And I'm now proud to say I'm co-president, co-owner of Cascadia. After 17 years of hard work, I'm grateful to say that I make a really good salary. I feel truly fulfilled by the work that we do. And I do feel that that's in part because of this place. I'm not telling you this whole story just to talk about me overcoming economic obstacles or to suggest that it's easy to get your dream job out of college. My story is about this place. I genuinely believe that my early economic and professional success was because of this degree, this program. What you are walking out of here today with is all you need to be successful in the environmental fields. I feel that has set you up for success. Now, I want to say that my job at Cascadia is truly my dream job. Our mission is to inspire and empower communities everywhere to protect and restore our world. I'm hopeful that you are here, that I am here today, because that message resonates with you. My job is interesting and rewarding and challenging, and don't let anyone tell you a job should be any less than that. Now, beyond getting this degree and working hard and being lucky, I thought I should share some more practical advice for how you can get your own dream job. And I want to start by saying that early after graduation, I joined the Alumni Council. So I was connecting regularly with alum and staff and people in the environmental fields. I did some career counseling and resume review for UW students, so use these resources. I also try to stay connected to POE grads, like my friend Lindsay Lawrence, who worked at Metamorphic Gear. He graduated, he graduated the same year as I did and started his own company making upcycled gear. And I just love championing him when I see him at green business events, and celebrated when I first saw his gear at REI. I also want to encourage you all to set up informational interviews. I try to make time for that, to get coffee with job seekers, reach out to people in your network on LinkedIn, even like kind of sort of in your network. And then I also want to say I was so excited years ago when we were able to start doing internships that we reached out to Sean and POE to host capstone internships. And let's give it up for Sean and the POE team. Yes. Let me just say he's been a tireless champion working to create professional development opportunities for you. I get a lot of emails from Sean over the years, and it's been so rewarding to host so many POE interns and hire several full-time. I think we have about 5 POE grads on the Cascadia team right now, because, well, POE grads are the best, am I right? I know full well that you all are rock stars and you're ready to make such a positive difference in the world. Now, I think I already heard this today, but I don't think I could get out of here without acknowledging that you all might be facing some headwinds in the job market because of recent federal policy changes, reductions, and environmental funding and support. And what I want to say is you all are pros at staying resilient and overcoming adversity. Many of you started your career, your economic and academic career journey when we were figuring out how to survive a global health pandemic. It was just 5 years ago that we were locked down in our homes and fear and uncertainty were swirling all around, but you made it through. This is now another time where fear and uncertainty are paramount, but you've got this. You're resilient. My advice for you is to stay hopeful. I know that there are so many local jurisdictions, local government, sustainable business leaders that are doubling down on their investment in the environment and climate action and environmental justice. The overall environmental field has seen tremendous growth in the 18 years since I graduated. I graduated in 2007, just in time for a global housing crisis and the Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. I got a job during that time, and you will too. There's kind of always some sort of looming crisis in the news, an impending recession, and there's always recovery. I'll add that Cascadia has been around for 32 years, and it was just in the last 5 that we doubled our annual revenue and our number of employees. We are in a growth industry. There is so much investment in our work and so much potential for positive impact. Now, I have to, of course, attribute our success and growth to the amazing people I work with, my colleagues, our partners, our clients. And I want to paraphrase Paul Hawken here. He was one of my environmental heroes. When I was here getting my UW degree, I read his book, Ecology of Commerce. And he said, when asked if I'm pessimistic or optimistic about the future, my answer is always the same. If you look at the science about what is going on the planet and you aren't pessimistic, then you don't understand the data. But if you meet the people who are working to restore this world and improve the lives of the poor, and you aren't optimistic, then you haven't got a pulse. I am hopeful for our future. I believe in you and your ability to make it better. Now, please pause with me. Take a look around at your fellow graduates. Yes. If your busy schedules over the last few years, juggling school and work and personal lives, prevented you from connecting with your fellow graduates, know that it's not too late. Do it now. Take time to make connection and establish relationships with your fellow changemakers. My other piece of advice for you all is to seek out and read good news. Don't doom scroll before bed, and I'm saying that as much to you as myself. We hear, or at least remember, a lot of bad news, right? But there is a lot of good news out there, and we are making progress. Our total US per capita and total CO2 emissions are at their lowest levels in decades. And I can say from experience, I get to work with many bright minds in the environmental field that are dedicating their lives every day to environmental protection and environmental justice. And they're confronting tough odds and systemic barriers and power imbalances and despair, and they're moving forward with grace and ingenuity and determination, a sense of justice and a commitment to making positive action happen. We are capable of dreaming up creative ideas and implementing real solutions. I feel so grateful to read stories every day of people around the world, of individuals, whole communities coming together and using technology and innovation to solve the world's problems. And I also feel that there's people out there that I see in classrooms and at companies, in cities and villages and on farms. and they're working to repair and rebuild and restore and reuse and reimagine. I feel grateful that I get to work on a number of environmental justice and equity projects. And more we are seeing that real change happens by being on the ground in community, working together to co-create solutions with frontline communities most impacted by environmental issues. We're listening to community voices and Indigenous voices and young people. It's better late than never, right? We see now how connected social and economic resilience is to environmental resilience. I was just in the Bay Area a few weeks ago for a work trip, and we were there with hosting a networking event, raising some funds for some community-based organizations that we work with on environmental justice and food recovery and climate resilience. We didn't talk about federal funding cuts or the political environment. We didn't use the phrase uncertain times. When have we ever been certain about the future? The evening was joyous. Our focus was on the interconnectedness of our work and our communities. We felt empowered to support each other and to make a positive impact in the world. And I want to say there is still a lot of joy out there. Go out there and find it. What I love about working in the environmental field is that our work, our business is not a zero-sum game. You don't have to take something from someone else to have more. We win when our colleagues win, when our partners, our clients, our community, our leaders, our nation, our planet wins. Paul Hawkins said we can have an economy based on healing the future instead of stealing it. We can work to create new, powerful, innovative solutions to big problems. And we can provide motivation and reduce barriers to help us all implement individual actions every day that have the power to make a big difference. We can get jaded, right? We can question the impacts of our actions, but individual actions matter. Drive alone less, switch to greener products, conserve water, buy local and in-season food, don't waste food, support river and ocean cleanups, stand up for justice, believe in the power of UN Sustainable Development Goals, hold your leaders accountable for making progress, show you're paying attention. It all matters. Your investment in the environmental fields and your potential to make a positive difference matters. Now, I'll close with a proverb, as you do in a commencement speech. It's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Be the change, the light you want to see in the world. Our environmental challenges are not going away. We've made progress, but it's not yet enough. Our national climate goals are falling short of the emissions reductions targets we need to see. We are not yet on track to meet the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. COVID, the cost of living, global conflict, climate crisis, including floods and heat waves and wildfires, and yes, politics have set us back. More innovation and investment is needed in water management and clean energy and future-proofing our cities and supporting the most vulnerable in our communities. We need your passion, your expertise, your commitment, your empathy, your kindness, and your support. The generations before you failed to get us back on track. It's your turn to make it right. Pressing, urgent global environmental challenges mean job security for you. Earth is hiring, and the world needs you now more than ever. There's much to do starting tomorrow. Today, please celebrate this accomplishment you all worked so hard to achieve, this gift of a POE and UW degree. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Stephanie. It really touches me when I hear from other environmental studies graduates, because it sounds like my language. It sounds like family. We have interconnected personal and professional threads in our lives that I discover every day as I talk to you. So thank you for pointing that out. I have a degree in environmental studies as well, different university, different country, but I do speak your language, and you spoke our language today. Thank you. With that, we're going to move to the next part of our program. You've heard a little bit about the capstones. The capstone symposium just happened recently. I'm going to introduce P. Sean McDonald. Professor McDonald will come up here and present the awards for the capstone presentations.
All right. Well, first of all, let's have another round of applause for Stephanie. That was fantastic. And not just because she gave me a shout out, but I appreciate that. Just saying. Well, so everyone, I just want to say thank you for being here today. It's my extreme pleasure to work with all of the students within our program and their culminating experience here in the program on the environment. The capstone is really the culmination of a tremendous amount of work on the part of our graduates. It's internship and research. It spans nearly a full year, a full academic year at least. And the range of topics that our students address is really as diverse as our student group here. We're talking about policy and regulation. We're talking about natural science and restoration. We're thinking about conservation. We're thinking about agriculture and food systems, as well as sustainability and business and justice issues as well. So really diverse. And you'll be able to hear some of the titles of the presentations later when we announce the graduates. But for now, it's my pleasure to introduce our capstone awards. We hold a capstone symposium in both the autumn and the spring for our students to showcase their work. Students prepare amazing posters and these really exciting lightning talks to share all that they have accomplished in their experience here. These presentations are judged by an anonymous panel of our alumni and faculty. And at this time, it's my pleasure to announce those winners. So what I would like you to do, there's actually something for everyone here. So if I call your name, please try to quickly move to the stage. Okay. Quickly, but safely, quickly, but safely. Now, here's the thing. I want everybody in the audience to applaud, but don't stop applauding until they make their way to the stage. It's so nerve-wracking when you're walking and no one's applauding. So we're going to try to sustain the applause. All right. Okay. So I'm going to start with autumn 2024. Okay. So our autumn 2024 poster honorable mention. The title of this presentation was Awareness to Action, Fostering Empathy Through Immersive Learning in Climate Justice Education. The site partner organization was Climate Impacts Group at the University of Washington, is our very own Caroline Hale. You're doing great. Keep it up. All right. All right. Moving on to autumn 2024 best poster. The title was What Does It Take to Improve Recycling Contamination in the Medical Field? Site partner was Harborview Medical Center, and this was Caroline Pavlov. Very good. We'll figure this out by the end of the day. All right. Moving on to the lightning talk presentations for autumn 2024. The honorable mention went to, is Bridging Divides, Holistic Approaches to Managing Salmon and Forest Ecosystems Amidst Increasing Wildfires. This is with the Nature Conservancy. That's Nina Prasad. Thank you. All right, moving on to the best lightning talk for autumn 2024, Urban Agriculture, a method for reducing food insecurity in Seattle's food deserts. This is with the organization City Fruit. Zoe Warren. All right, thank you to those folks. We're going to move on to spring 2025. These have not been announced yet, so this is a mystery for everyone. We'll start with the honorable mention for best poster. The title is Protecting the Puget Sound, How Green Stormwater Infrastructure Can Save Our Waters, with the organization Sustainable Ballard. That's Dylan Ungsweze. Okay, and the best poster for spring 2025, Oral History, TEK, and Trust, Multiple Ways of Knowing in the Climate Crisis, with the organization NOAA Fisheries. It's Hope Kutchin. Okay, and the honorable mention for lightning talk in spring 2024, Clean Air Action, How Community-Driven Solutions Can Tackle Environmental Injustice in Policy Implementation, with the organization U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Region 10. That's Megan Hassey. And last but not least, the best lightning talk presentation for spring 2025. The title was Blue State Purple Policy, Lessons for Bipartisan Environmental Policy in the Puget Sound. Site partner was Puget Sound Partnership. That's Benji Blatt. All right, another big round of applause for our winners. And a big round of applause for all the students who completed their capstone. It's a tremendous amount of work, and they all did fantastically.
Exit left and right. Woo! All right, back to the program. We will now hear from one of our own speaking our language. So the graduating student address by Niall Peoples. Niall, coming up.
Okay. No pressure after that. Thank you. Okay. Good morning. I think it's still morning. It is, yes. First of all, I can't express how happy I am to be here with you all. This program is very close to my heart, and I'm so excited that we get to celebrate together today. I want to send another congratulations to the program's class of 2025. Earning a degree is no small feat for itself, and many of us manage to do it while juggling all of life's other hurdles like money or work or hangovers. There's so much to be said about the dedication and growth all of us showed, more than I can fit into this speech today. I do want to highlight the virtue of my classmates, though. This is a small program where everyone knows everyone. We're pushed to share our genuine thoughts on some pretty personal subjects at times. As I've reflected on this in the past few months, I realized that it's kind of incredible that we haven't faced some social nuclear war. Don't take that for granted, seriously. I think we will all learn soon that many people we share this world with may not be so mature. And second, a moment of honesty. I spent weeks figuring out what I was going to say in this speech. Several fruitless weeks, actually. Of course, there's the pleasant standards of your graduation speech, the we did it's, the we're embarking on new chapters, the we are the futures. They're true, and we deserve to hear them, but I doubt that anyone wants to sit through 10 minutes of that. And I certainly didn't want to write 10 minutes of that, if I could help it. I wanted to talk about something original, but there's a problem with originality. There are simply no new stories. Seriously. If you look for it, you'll find that most literature is some remix of Shakespeare or the Bible. It's about the numbers too. Human intelligence has always been defined by our creativity and imagination. That leaves slim chance that one of us is going to think up something that the first 100 billion people didn't get to first. And research types know this too. Even when our work is original, it's chock full of citations from research presented first by others. Remember those annotated bibliographies, right? Right. And I think that that rule applies to us too. Of course, there are funny stories I could tell you about our class, like the time some poor soul volunteered to slide ass first down a muddy slope in Ravenna Park in front of their 50-person research methods class at 8:30 in the morning 2 autumns ago. I have a hunch that whoever that was must be awfully gracious to take that moment in jest. But when it comes to the big picture, is there anything we can say about ourselves that last year's graduates didn't say about themselves? Personally, I don't think so, but that is far from a bad thing. Originality generates scarcity, and as environmentalists, we are deeply intimate with the concept of scarcity. We understand that nature is abundant, that there's truly enough in the world for everybody to sustain themselves. Scarcity is manufactured. Scarcity assumes that humans are greedy, that we will act only in our own self-interest. Scarcity antagonizes community, trust, and mutualism, serving only to ease the minds of the selfish. Scarcity, like originality, incentivizes us to care more about being first than being in community. The world we are stepping into is deeply individualistic. Sharing is labeled as some sort of weakness, an activity relegated for the less rich, the less mainstream, the less intelligent. It doesn't help that people our age are tightly bound to the internet, where overexposure has led many of us to only broadcast our most exceptional moments for fear of scrutiny from people we've never even met. The rat race has expanded exponentially in recent times. You must be the trendsetter. You must be the first to an idea. From this point of view, it sucks to think that our stories might not be shaking the table because newness is what is expected of talented people in this world. But the truth is that the power of storytelling has nothing to do with saying something new. We consume stories uniquely as individuals. That is why storytelling has everything to do with saying it again your way. Not to be sacrilege in a place of learning, but I'm not someone that's exactly enthralled by Shakespeare. I'll also hypothesize that most folks reading the Bible aren't doing so because they love the plot. That's why it's hugely valuable that humanity's most resilient stories continue to take new lives in contemporary media, so that we all may find a reincarnation that speaks to us. The same is true about us too. It doesn't matter how similar or different our class's story is to those before or after us, because what matters is that it weaves us together. That is the significance of the class of 2025. That is why we are celebrating. Today, we have been charged as the next generation of storytellers, the new keepers of the conversations, hardships, and friendships that we have all found ourselves ensnared in these past few years. My hope is that we take our new jobs seriously. So long as we continue to tell our story, it will continue to hold us together. That's the other thing about stories. They unite people. They bring out the parts of us that are innately human and emotional. I bet you could bond with anyone over a funny story, a mushy rom-com, a nail-biting mystery, or just complaining about the traffic on your way here, which, oh my gosh. This class is evidence of that. This group didn't just show up to earn the grade, we showed up for each other. We showed love, kindness, and vulnerability to one another, something that feels rarer and rarer these days. Empathy may be a road less traveled, but I can say you all chose it anyway, despite how different we all may be. Perhaps our embrace of one another has something to do with some unspoken loyalty, some force trying to tie us to each other. Our story is one of abundance. We need stories to bring us together more than ever. It is not too late to save ourselves from becoming neck deep in that originality rat race. People who lose sight of the stories we have in common with each other become fearful of people who are different to themselves because to them, everyone else is a competitor, a threat, an other. They start to believe that the things they hold dear are scarce. If this isn't you, I guarantee it is someone in your life. Don't write that person off as a lost cause, undeserving of your labor and your love just because they can't seem to view life the same way you do. Never forget that there is always a story that brings you together, no matter how far apart you may feel. This isn't to say that you should ignore your differences or oppress how you feel about different ideas. Quite the opposite is true. But your differences should not be the defining factor of your relationship. You shouldn't define your utopia as a world where everyone thinks just like you. As humans, we have enough in common. If we focus on that, if we trust that our story will bring us back together no matter what, we will all be okay. Thank you.
Wow. Niall, that was amazing. As a student, I learned that the best teachers tell the most amazing stories. Today, you were my teacher. It's incredible. Those stories, I think, is what gives us that language that I was talking about, that language in common, because in the stories that we tell, we see ourselves. And there might be not new stories, but there are those new stories about yourself that others see themselves in your stories. So that's our connection. I hope we get to keep it. All right, the big part of the program. So this is the Environmental Studies Bachelor of Arts procession. We will have two faculty reading names, and I'm going to introduce Tim Billow and Eli Wheat will come up. Please.
We're ready.
They're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, please make sure as you come up, you have your name cards with you.
We're gonna go for
And I'll be up front here. We're gonna shake hands in the front and I'll point you towards Joy, who's gonna present you with a little gift from the program.
All right, well, this is the exciting part. So grads, you can go ahead and stand up. We'll have you line up on to my left on this, okay? And then you'll come up individually. We'll read your name and your capstone project title. All right. All right, we'll start. Let's do it. All right. Is it Ellis? Okay, so Kelly Tillis.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. This first official graduate of POE 2025 is Kelly Tillis. With the capstone title, Social Sustainability, the Unmapped Pillar at the University of Washington. Huge round of applause.
All right, next up, we have Grace Georgitsits with the capstone title, Know Your Audience, Creating Better Transit Systems Through Co-Design with Community Stakeholders.
All right. Niall Peoples, What's in a Name? Addressing Pejorative Language in Natural History Collections.
Next up, Mia Cook, Barriers Hindering Minority and Women-Owned Businesses to Reuse, Recycle, Construction, and Demolition Debris.
Alec Barron, Reinventing Recycling, How Drop-Off Sites Can Engage Consumers and Keep Recyclables Out of the Landfill.
Next up, Elena Vega de Soto, Toxic Tech, Electronic Waste Challenges in Washington and the Sustainable Path to Responsible Recycling.
All right, I'm gonna start with the capstone title. Thinking about nature, how forest classrooms foster systems thinking skills in preschoolers. Hannah Collar.
Next up, Sydney Belden, Transportation Transformation, How Seattle Wants the Link and Light Rail to be Fixed and Why.
Climate Solutions or Ecological Gamble, Understanding the Trade-offs of Ocean Alkalinity Enhancement. Jacob Williams.
Keegan McMurray, An Environmental Communicator's Guide to Combating Climate Misinformation.
Protecting the Puget Sound, How Green Stormwater Infrastructure Can Save Our Waters. Dylan Ongwaseth.
Hope Audrey Kutchin, Oral History, TEK, and Trust, Multiple Ways of Knowing in the Climate Crisis.
Why Ecoforestry? An examination of ethics in forest ecosystem management. Jacob Jones.
Amelie Tam Gahagan, Going with the Flow, Harnessing Social Norms for Reusable Water Bottle Adoption.
Nature's Wealth, Quantifying Benefits of Nature Exposure and Promoting Equitable Access Through Policy. Chiquita Nigam.
Miles Crook, Light Rail Heavy Impacts, How a Toxic Relationship Could Halt the Expansion of Seattle's light rail system. Thank you.
Creating sustainable transit-oriented development, how Seattle can grow its light rail network sustainably. Callum Mitchell.
Alex Brunke, Heat Islands and Ecological Restoration, Exploring Potential Linkages.
Lengthening linen longevity, how the barriers to hotel textile recycling can be overcome. Alex Johnson.
Chance Hoppenrath, Tools for Curiosity, Hands-on Sustainability and the Fight Against Perceived Obsolescence. Thank you.
Continued corporate sustainability growth under current political conditions. Quinn Johnson.
Olivia Knudsen, Strengthening Material Reuse in King County, Barriers, Solutions, and Circular Potential.
Behind the Seams, Understanding Youth Attitudes Towards Sustainable Clothing and Textile Waste. Samantha Harrison.
Olivia Michaels, Strategic Recovery, Incorporating Regional Dynamics into Abalone Conservation. Yeah, thank you.
All right. The Problem with Stuff, Barriers and Solutions to a Free Store. Sadie McGee.
You heard this one already. Blue State Purple Policy, Lessons for Bipartisan Environmental Policy in the Puget Sound. Benji Blatt.
Raising the Curtain to Husbandry and Aquariums. Kendra Pearson.
Local nonprofits have our backs, but who's got theirs? Anna Crow.
Urban agriculture as a method to alleviate food insecurity in Seattle's food deserts. Zoe Warren.
Conserve to Preserve, How Cities and Citizens Can Collaborate to Protect Water Resources. Lauren Church.
Storytelling as co-design, reframing participatory design methodologies and frameworks for Indigenous-led climate justice work. Court Maeda.
How the Collective Impact Framework Can Inspire Meaningful Partnerships and Rapidly Advance a Sustainable Future. Mia M. Nelson.
Top barriers to multifamily composting, matters of accessibility and justice. Evelyn Osborne.
The Dangers of Weak Policy, Voluntary Corporate Participation in Standardized Date Labeling as an Enabler of Food Waste. Olivia Hallis.
Thermal thresholds and habitat resilience, evaluating climate-driven changes in bull kelp ecology in the Salish Sea. Kayla May Engelhardt.
Leading Green Futures, Understanding the Challenges of Widespread LEED Certification. Sean Carey.
Bridging the Gap to Nature, Finding Solutions to Green Space Access Inequality. Chloe Stafford.
Cultivating Well-Being, the Transformative Impact of Community-Based Environmental Learning. Monica Hing Chin.
Circularity Counts, Addressing the Waste Issue Through Community-Centered Institutions, Aidan Cox.
Science communication in a new information age, utilizing social media as an environmental education tool. Ben Loke.
How to Achieve Transit-Oriented Development in an Equitable and Just Way, Sydney Elfstrom.
From Discard to Discovery, Establishing a Free Reuse Store at the University of Washington. Sarah Spector.
Let's Map It Out, the potential of mapping for raising sustainability awareness at UW, Leah Bodmer.
Clean Air Action, How Community-Driven Solutions Can Tackle Environmental Injustice in Policy Implementation. Megan Hasse.
Conservation in Plain Sight, Using Educational Displays to Connect NOAA and Communities. Bridget Murphy.
Secondhand First Class, Identifying Target Communities for Reuse Commons and Effective Marketing Strategies for Engagement. Brianna Cataniero. Sorry.
Underwater Real Estate, Analyzing Policy Frameworks for Effective Eelgrass Restoration on the U.S. West Coast. Jordan Gennario.
Eco Engagement, Discovering Effective Social Media Strategies for Environmental NGOs. Chelsea DeGrande.
Fueling Future Farmers, The Future is Regenerative. CJ Applegate.
Roots of Awareness, Branches of Action, Environmental Knowledge, Action Gaps in Preschool Age Children. Ruby Gamilius.
Reshaping Climate Change Education for Elementary Students. Molly Rabus.
The Hidden Health Risk Next Door, Tackling Urban Noise with Resonator-Enhanced Barriers. Sarah Doolittle.
Funding a Sustainable Future, Tool Libraries and Circular Economy Nonprofits. Jenna Williamson.
From Plastics to Pixels, Empowering Circular Action Through Website Design. Sydney Morris.
Building Healthier Communities, How Farmers Markets Promote Access to Sustainable Nutritious Food. Genevieve Fend.
Utilizing Circular Economies for Sustainable Development. William Hooper.
Unhoused People as Park Users, Their Perspectives and Needs in King County. Michael Wan Lu.
Oysters in Acidic Waters, Pioneering Research in Marine Carbon Dioxide Removal in Pacific Oysters. Talia Claire Russum.
Are our green spaces adequate? The Impact of Nature Immersion on Emotional Well-Being. Jalen Yanni.
Oh gosh. Ship happens. Research vessel exhaust impact on ocean acidification research. Deja Ray Jackson.
Redlining today, green space inequity, the detrimental effects of it, and how the city of Seattle confronts it. Christina Canonizado.
Molly Barham, looking inward, designing human-centered resources that support sustainable behavior change.
The guidance of salmonberries, how we can reclaim Mother Nature as her children and not her antithesis. Ada Kashmir.
Creating green cities, native plant restoration in urban spaces. Tess Petrillo.
Before we engineer the ocean, reimagining community engagement in marine carbon dioxide removal. Chloe Jasvik.
Mother Earth, feminizing the environment and its implications on natural resource management. Eliza Wyman.
Sustainable and safe, redefining healthcare without compromise. Hazel Stoika.
Communicating science, navigating controversial topics with reason. Sebastian Kuhn.
Art as a bridge, connecting relationship to nature through environmental restoration and immigration stories. Emma Freeman.
Surf, sand, and sediment. Forage fish sediment surveys as a case study for responding to insufficient datum. Sierra Briggs.
Fishing gear modifications to reduce bycatch green sturgeon deaths. Danielle Scroggins.
Reframing justice from below. Grassroots resistance and the politics of environmental language. Shannon Crosbrook.
Three barriers to entering the environmental workforce and how to remove them. Kina Painter.
Achieving a sustainable future through design and planning. Jack Ryan.
Bridging the gap, trust, transparency, and digital tools in environmental communication. Olivia Young.
Why save something you don't care about? The importance of outdoor environmental education programs for kids. Hallie Nelson.
Capitalism and sustainability, understanding the role and implications of corporate greenwashing and climate misinformation. Maeve Doolin.
Oh gosh. Ainsley McKinley. Coastlines to classrooms. Marine mammals as a wake-up call for transformative environmental education. Yeah.
Community proves to be a major motivator behind participation in gleaning practices. Tess Heather Brobeck.
Sarah Da Silva, Waves of Insight, examining recreational boating behavior as AIS in the San Juan Archipelago.
Awareness to action, fostering empathy through immersive learning in climate justice education, Caroline Hale.
Caroline Pavlov, what does it take to improve recycling contamination in the medical field?
Transportation education, addressing high schoolers' concerns with Seattle Transit, Haley Roberson.
Maya Levy, Green Minds Environmental Education as a Catalyst for Eco-Conscious Values.
Building a Sustainable Future, Optimizing Digital Content for Environmental Education, Julia Bullock.
Abigail Rock, Bark Ambrosia Beetle Dynamics, a new lens for forest management practice.
Abby, oh, sorry. Bridging Divides, Holistic Approaches to Managing Salmon and Forest Ecosystems Amidst Increasing Wildfires, Nina Persai.
Annie Rose Schlanger, Citizen Science, Transforming Community Members into Environmental Educators.
You want the student presentation? Janssen? Okay. Use your indicators, the significance of baseline data of indicator species on future marine research, Annika Remmers Janssen.
Catherine Olson, Keeping Our Communities Fed, a local approach to food system planning.
Growing a Better Tomorrow, Exploring the Role of Community in Promoting Sustainability and Community Well-Being, Jay Skillis.
Leila Arolo, Preserving Institutional Knowledge in Student-Run Environmental Research Organizations, a case study of the Student Sea Glider Center.
Right. And last but not least, here we go. Trash Talk, Zines, Waste Systems, and Environmental Justice in Seattle, Han Yifan.
Congratulations, graduates. You heard a little bit about the projects that our graduates worked on. I do want to tell you about the graduate class a little bit more. We've had 70 students graduate today. 13 of those students were double majors in political sciences, food system and nutrition and health. Number of minors, we had 62 of our students who graduated today had minors, 10 in business administration, 8 in law, and societies and justice, 6 in environmental sciences and resource management. So our students are definitely overachievers. Our graduates, they're not students anymore. Hey, we're coming to the end of the program. I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to express gratitude. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you to the POE faculty that you've seen up here: Eli, Lubna, Christy, Tim, Yan Chu, and Sean, and many more faculty at UW that worked with our students. Thank you to the community partners, including our keynote, who engage with the graduates in their capstones. These are year-long projects. This graduate dedication has been the cornerstone of the education that you've undertaken, providing guidance and inspiration. To the families and friends gathered here with us today, your unwavering support has been vital to the success of these graduates. Family, supporters, friends, raise your hand. Graduates, help me say thank you. Will the graduates please stand up? You can do the tassel if you like. You can sit down. So to the graduates, thank you for your passion, your dedication, and your steady belief in the possibilities of a better future. It's contagious. I do want to do a quick shout out to our staff, Amy, Courtney, Derek, Joy, and Mia. They've been cheering for you graduates behind the scenes all the years that you've been with us. So thank you, POE staff. All right, guests, join me in congratulating the class of 2025. The future is yours to shape it. Yep, you may stand up. Standing ovations are welcomed. Just a brief announcement. The faculty and I are going to stay on stage for about 5 to 10 minutes if you want to get group photos up here. If not, enjoy the reception out front, and we will also see you out front in about 5 to 10 minutes to take more photos. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. If you can still hear me, we believe in sustainability here at the Program on the Environment, and many of you are wearing caps and gowns, which you will never wear again. If you're going to the graduation Saturday, great. If you want to leave them here, we will take them home. If you want to leave them with us at the graduation ceremony, look for us and Joy, especially at the bridge.
At the Sky Bridge, y'all.
Sky Bridge heading to light rail from the stadium. On Saturday. After Saturday, you can bring them back to POE. We'd love to see you here on stage or at the reception. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Christy. Yes. Okay, I can help you kind of on the some table, four-way take off. Like, should I come back in? And then I'd like go back.
Never know that. It was a real surprise. Congratulations. Are you? So, I talked to Carrie and Eric, I'm sure you guys are probably gonna. I don't. Okay, you don't know. So, I didn't know either, but I will be there, but I'm, yeah. I just didn't know. It's not, so. And I occasionally interested in this word, like I, my phone keeps on. Look at that. That is perfect.
Let's get all three. Yeah.
You take carrots. You're good. That's like a.
Okay, one more. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you haven't had a chance to take a picture with the faculty, we're going to head out front now. More pictures at the reception. Please join us.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was very good. Oh my goodness. I think I would definitely pop it. And that's so. I really.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then you can. So did you? That was.
I still need to reuse it. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, we have out this way. Do you want any? Okay, let's go this way.
Out of my one. About.
Yeah, I love that concept. I might stop teaching one course here and the course is going to time. I think it's probably absolutely. Not to say this in more ways. That's been on my list, I said, just straight out. Because she brought it up. Hey, Jacob. Congratulations. That would be so fun. And I had brought my friend. Well, you'll stay in touch because I'll be writing letters of recommendation.
I fully appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely stay in touch.
We get on like.
Stay there, I'll get it. It's the least we can give them.
Make sure that.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. I was. Posture that I was. For me. So I'm not. Oh. So I was like, they don't have any. So I was like, oh. I was like, this was like, yeah. What's it? Oh, well, can you say I ate it? Thank you, yes. Graduate. Yeah. Now we can launch the job. Up my. Oh, yeah. Tell me, give me some ideas. Maybe I'll see. I was about it last year. She was, oh, yeah, she was getting. Oh, yeah. They did. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. It's so serious.
We're not here because we. No.
Great.
Oh, I got one quarter. I saw even.
Well, anyway, good. I will.
Yes, something else. Yes. Oh, yeah. You lied. So we didn't hear that. I was like, yeah, it was worse. It was so much worse. Where do you want me to look? Like, you always look out. And her, like, I don't even know. No, it's just drawing. And Josie's in the back seat, like, scratched up, trying to get out because she expects the person to like be her a tree. And I was like, yeah, don't look. Yeah, we've, it's so funny when I was like, yeah. I did the two, I think I don't have glasses on. For a couple years.
What are you going to do with the time? We're gonna get you.
It was pretty cool.
What's next?
But yeah, first.
Grad school was, I'm not opposed to it, I just like wanna know what I'm doing first. Why I was doing it.
Yes.
But I'm definitely excited for like whatever comes up, finally. I'm
There was
jumping to,
whatever,
like, I don't know what that.
there were a lot of stuff.
You know, maybe still working on it or last night or consulting, or one of those.
Nathan was like in low for, yeah, like.
Right?
Yeah. And
I definitely. Yeah, and also be running it, crack and join that.
Yes.
yeah. Oh. Yeah. There's one by, actually a couple, like, you know, and one of them I like.
And she can't do it.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's what we should be doing.
The whole one will buy and they'll have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't like. No. Yeah, I wrote all the time.
Happy not.
Yeah. Oh, you're ready.
Oh, yeah, no, like, very big, like, really. Those, not, I don't know, but that's like good trend, you know, that's like, great. Now we're all. One exception.
They all get into.
I will, it's done.
But don't forget.
I will. Here tonight.
You probably heard you Friday. Oh, we got it. I'm so sorry. It was lovely.
Thank you, everybody.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, no. I need to get this thing out of here.
It's because you did all this great work. I'd love to help you now.